Behaviour management in early years. Behaviour is one of the areas practitioners tell me they're finding the hardest right now, and very often it's not because they're doing anything wrong, it's because the strategies they were taught years ago just don't work in today's early years environments. In this video, I want to talk honestly about behaviour management in early years, what actually works, what doesn't, and how this links directly to what Ofsted now expect to see in nurseries and childminding settings. This is about understanding children better and feeling more confident in how we respond. But before we get into all of that, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel, Open a Nursery with myself, Kurt Liania, where I support people to open, run and grow successful childcare settings. If this is your first time here, check out my other videos like what is safeguarding and the STAR approach to managing behaviour. This will all help to continue to support your practice. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and like if you found this video useful. But before we talk about strategies, I think it's really important to acknowledge something. Behaviour often feels harder now, and that's not your imagination. Children are coming into settings with bigger emotional needs, more anxiety, more send and sensory needs, more language delays, and often less experience in being in group environments. Add to that longer days, busier rooms, staffing pressures, and higher expectations on practitioners, and suddenly behaviours that used to feel manageable now feel constant and exhausting. So if you're thinking, why does this feel harder than it used to? You're not alone. What's important to understand is this: behaviour hasn't necessarily got worse. Children's needs have changed. The shift in children's needs is exactly why Ofsted expectations around behaviour have also changed. Under the current inspection framework, Ofsted are not looking for silent rooms, children who are always compliant, or environments where behaviour is controlled through fear or rewards. What they are looking for is emotional safety, calm, consistent adult responses, strong relationships, proportionate support, and adults who understand child development. Inspectors understand that children in early years are learning how to regulate, not expected to already be regulated. And this is a really important point. Ofsted don't expect children to manage their behaviour independently. They expect adults to support regulation. That expectation underpins everything we're about to talk about. So let's talk honestly about some of the behaviour strategies that don't work long term, even though many of us were trained to use them. Firstly, reward charts and sticker systems. Reward charts can be great to change behaviour in the short term, but they don't build emotional regulation. Children learn, I behave to get something, not I understand my feelings and how to manage them. This can also exclude children who struggle the most, increase comparison between children, and stop working completely when the reward loses its appeal. Another thing is shouting, raised voices, or sanctions. When adults raise their voices, behaviour usually escalates, not improves. It increases anxiety, it damages trust, it models dysregulation, and often leads to repeated behaviour. Children learn far more from what we model than what we say. And finally, public consequences or shame-based responses. This is calling children out in front of others, removing them publicly, or making examples of them. This can damage self-esteem, create power struggles, and lead to repeated behaviours rather than change. And importantly, many of these approaches sit uncomfortably with Ofsted's expectations around well-being, inclusion, and emotional safety. So if these approaches don't work long term, what does? Let's talk about strategies that generally support behaviour and align fully with Ofsted expectations. Co-regulation. Young children cannot regulate their emotions on their own. They need adults to help them. Co-regulation means staying calm yourself, acknowledging the child's feelings, and offering support before expecting control. It's about helping children borrow your calm until they can develop their own. Predictable routines. Many behaviours come from anxiety and uncertainty. Clear, predictable routines help to reduce emotional overload, help children feel safe, and prevent behaviours before they escalate. Consistency matters far more than complexity, and clear, consistent adult responses. Children need to know what to expect from adults. That means similar responses from all staff, calm, simple language, and clear boundaries delivered with warmth. Consistency creates security. And using the environment as a behaviour support. Often behaviour is a response to the environment. Things to reflect on are your noise levels, the amount of clutter, transitions, overstimulation, and a lack of quiet spaces. A well-considered environment can prevent many behaviours before they happen. And finally, emotion coaching. Helping children name and understand their feelings is powerful. This includes modelling emotional language, acknowledging feelings without judgment, and showing children what regulation looks like. This is exactly the kind of practice inspectors often describe as strong or exceptional. One of the biggest factors in behaviour management is the emotional tone set by adults. Children are incredibly sensitive to adult stress, tone of voice, body language, and emotional reactions. When adults are calm and regulated, children feel safer. When adults feel overwhelmed, behaviour often escalates. And it isn't about being perfect. It's about you being aware of how you feel affecting how they feel. A really important reminder here is this: behaviour management isn't about controlling children. It's about regulating ourselves first. Now let's put this into context of inspections, because this is where a lot of anxiety comes from. Ofsted are not looking for zero behaviour incidents, children sitting quietly all day, or unrealistic expectations. They are looking at how adults respond when behaviour happens, your tone of voice, body language, how incidents are managed, and whether children feel emotionally safe. Inspectors know that behaviour happens. What matters is how it's handled. A calm, thoughtful response often demonstrates stronger practice than a room where behaviour seems controlled. But let's quickly clear up a few myths that still come up a lot. Good behaviour means quiet children. It doesn't. Children should know better by now. This is not how development works. Consistency means rigid rules. Consistency can still be flexible and responsive, or children misbehave on purpose. Behaviour is communication, not manipulation. When we challenge these myths, behaviour becomes easier to understand and manage. I want to leave you with this reassurance: if behaviour feels challenging in your setting, it doesn't mean you're failing. Very often it means children need more support, not more control. And the good news is that the approaches that genuinely help children regulate are the same approaches Ofsted now expect to see in strong and exceptional practice. Calm adults, clear routines, strong relationships, and emotional understanding. You're probably doing more right than you realise. And if you want to understand how Ofsted look at behaviour in practice, I'd really recommend watching Passing Your Ofsted Inspection in 2026, which you should see a link to on the screen now. And if you want to strengthen the relationship that underpin behaviour, the key person role video will really help with this. But finally, I want to thank you for watching, wish you all the best, and I'll see you on the next video. God bless.